Today, we're going to talk about drawing and how to create an effective roadmap for your paintings. So let's talk about our drawing. So what we don't want our drawing to be is a really tight, overly rendered, labored over drawing. If you draw this way, what tends to happen when you start to paint is you treat your painting kind of like a coloring book. You fill in these tidy little areas and try to stay within the lines. I don't want my drawing to play that role in my painting. I want my drawing to be a roadmap to guide me, to show me the composition, to make sure that my perspective is correct, to make sure everything fits within my painting, and to help me look for connections, even in this early stage of my painting. Also, help me define areas that I will need to paint around. So last week we talked about negative painting. You can use your drawing to help you remember the areas that you're going to need to paint around. Let's take a look at this painting here, and I'm going to walk you through my drawing phase. My philosophy on sketching is to sketch something pretty loose and simple. So what I typically do is establish my horizon line, and then I start to look for the main shapes of the painting. So let's see kind of how big I want this truck to be. I try to not do a whole lot of detail in my sketch period, but I don't want to get too detailed until I know that everything's going to fit. And as hard as it might be, I'm trying to see objects as shapes and not exactly what they are. And the reason for that is we tend to think we know how things should look and subconsciously adjust or draw how we think things are rather than how they actually are. And if you can try and remove the naming of things to your drawing practice, you can be a little more accurate. That's probably good for the mail truck. And then I look and I see where the edge of this road is relative to the mail truck. And you can trace the line right through the truck to get that right. And then that line kind of goes that way. And what we're kind of creating here is a little bit of a Z or an S to lead into the painting. So I might try to do a little bit, maybe a shadow here, and then another shadow, as we get closer to the mail truck there. And I'm going to kind of show the curve of the road a little bit. Then there'll be like a center line in the road coming through there. That can run right off the page. So this road is kind of making a nice lead in to our scene, and then we'll take your eye to the mail truck and then maybe right over here. And the other main shape in this painting is this tree over here. And I'm going to run this tree right off the edge of the paper up here. And when I draw trees, I try to not make them look too straight. They all kind of lean a little bit. And so if you make them lean one way or the other slightly, then they tend to look more alive and less stiff. So this shadow will come right in to the shadow of the mail truck. Then the edge of that shadow will kind of go like that. Okay, so a temptation is in the background of our scene is to get into a lot of detail with these houses back here. So I need to keep reminding myself that this painting is not about those houses. It's more about the light, the shadows, the mail truck, the tree. So these houses are just simply a background. I want the viewer to know that there are buildings back there, but just a sense of a house, which tends to be the roof shape. We can simplify all this as much as possible. I think my truck needs just a little adjusting. It looks a little thin. There we go. I think that's better. What if we add in the mail carrier in the background? So as you can see, I'm not worrying about creating a tightly rendered drawing. Some other areas where you don't need a lot of drawing are clouds, trees, some of these natural shapes where you just want to let the brushwork speak for itself. So again, you're using your drawing as a guide. You're laying out your composition. You can tweak your composition to make sure it's what you want. You're getting perspective of your scene, laying in your horizon, looking for perspective lines, making sure everything fits how you want it to be. You're thinking of areas that you'll need to paint around, and other than that, you don't need a lot of detail in your drawings. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Next time you do your drawing, think about these things. What's important? What do I need my drawing to be to help me paint this in the most effective way? And I wanted to mention, if you haven't seen my free video lesson, 8 tips to avoid overworking your painting, take a look at it. You can follow the link below, or you can get to it in my bio on Instagram. I've gotten some great feedback from this video lesson, and it's been very helpful to solve a big problem that I have had to deal with, and that is overworking your painting. Keep moving forward, keep practicing and learning, and I'll see you next time.